It's Friday, August 13th, 2010. I'm Andy Waits in the News Bunker with today's front page review. First, the New York Times. Rare sharing of data led to results on Alzheimer's. When all the scientists get on one page, the result is more than 100 studies to find a cure. The same model may be applied to attacking Parkinson's soon. Ramadan has begun. These are Muslims in India having an evening meal. More trouble in Kashmir. Pakistan-backed rebels attack Indian forces in the border state. GM shows a profit, $1.3 billion, after losing $12.9 billion in Q2 '09. Now the temporary CEO hired to turn the company around calls it quits. Watch the press eventually attack him for whatever his salary was. Used to be when a congressman brought home the bacon and pork barrel projects, it almost guaranteed him a victory at the polls. Now voters are beginning to understand that someone has to pay the bills. Checking the LA Times. Prop 8 hangs by a legal thread. The judge's stay continues for another week, but neither Governor Schwarzenegger nor Attorney General Jerry Brown will appeal, and they may be the only ones with the legal standing to do so. Column 1 is about how some Muslims have a Western groove much of the year, but buckle down for Ramadan. Latrice Richardson had been missing for 11 months. Her remains have now been found, so Nancy Grace will just have to move on. The LA Times takes the personality angle on the GM CEO retiring story. Edward Whittaker should have a comfy retirement. To the East Coast, the Boston Globe. The Globe doesn't gloat over the Patriots beating the Saints in a do-over of the Super Bowl. The big scoop? Poison ivy is everywhere. A big spread showing how to recognize it and what to do if you've been rolling in it, besides scratch. Patients' files left at public dump. Lots of sensitive information, including social security numbers. And there are laws about disposing of those kinds of documents. 4 hospitals are looking into it. I would hope police are too. Psst, hey buddy, want to buy a healthcare business? Sure, it'll be out of business in a few years when Obamacare is the only option, but it's a sweet deal right now. Here's an article about how companies are dealing with the extra space left once they've downsized, that is, laid off employees. Now the Upper Midwest, the Fond du Lac, Wisconsin reporter. The local Salvation Army had extra toys left over for a couple of years, so they sent them to a Michigan Salvation Army. But Wisconsin locals aren't very happy about their toys going to Michigan. The PGA is nearby at Whistling Straits on the shores of Lake Michigan. There's Vijay Singh driving over a hillside that must be littered with balls. And here's Tiger bouncing back from last weekend's dismal performance. Wisconsin's share of the $26 billion federal package is $180 million. That should pay for about 3,000 teachers at $60,000 each. Vandals have been trashing a local park long as they stay away from Whistling Straits. And the PGA weather, upper 80s and stormy all weekend. And that's the front page review for Friday, August 13th, 2010. In the News Bunker, I'm Andy Waits.